Good morning. Rise and shine, my friends. Today is Friday, May 17th, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Catherine Hobbs. Thank you so much for starting your morning with me. Okay, I might have overshot it on wishing for some cooler weather because I might have accidentally manifested a rainy weekend. That's my bad. Clearly, I am too powerful for my own good. But for real, the sky should clear up by Sunday, and today you can expect a high of 83 degrees. My ultimate all-time favorite comfort show is Parks and Rec, and I identify concerningly strongly with both Leslie and April. But at a certain point, a girl's got to take a stand and establish some healthy differentiation. So now publicly, before all of you, I can say that Leslie Knope was wrong about turtles. They are not condescending, and we should have strong opinions about them. Luckily for me, I'm getting a chance to share my love of turtles this weekend. More on that in a sec. But first, let's dive into the news you need to start your day. Well, the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office released a 5-minute video showing the death of Anthony Johnson Jr. That comes after pressure from Johnson's family and the larger community. Johnson died in custody at Tarrant County Jail, and he's heard on the video saying, "I can't breathe," as jailers kneel on his back. Rafael Moreno and Lieutenant Joel Garcia were fired for the incident. The National Rifle Association is set to once again draw crowds and political pushback during its annual convention in Dallas this weekend. Governor Greg Abbott and former President Donald Trump will also return as some of the top speakers for the group's leadership forum Saturday afternoon. This is coming in the midst of Trump's hush money trial involving allegedly falsified business records and hush money payments made to porn star Stormy Daniels. It also comes exactly a week before the anniversary of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, in which a gunman killed 19 children and 2 teachers with a legally purchased AR-15. Well, on Monday, Dallas publisher Will Evans, the owner of Deep Vellum Press, will receive a knighthood from France. He publishes North Texas authors while helping to spread French literature through English translations. KERA's Jerome Weeks talked to Evans about the knighthood and the North Texas literary scene.
Will, did you have any inkling that France was going to honor you as a chevalier, as a knight of arts and letters?
I knew it was a possibility. When we inherited Dalkey Archive Press, I made an offhand joke to some of our colleagues that at the time the ambassador of France said that Dalkey Archive Press had more books translated from French than any other publisher in the history of the English language. And I said, well, by gosh, that now makes me the biggest publisher of translations from French in the history of the English language. And so I knew it was a possibility, but it still came as quite a surprise. I don't speak French, and so I was almost embarrassed for a minute,
When Deep Vellum acquires other publishers like Dalkey Archive Press, you're getting their backlist, books that have already been published, not new titles. Otherwise, you mostly publish translations, which typically don't sell well in America. And these are not just translations from French or Russian, but from languages like Mongolian and Kurdish. I have to say, all this doesn't sound like the most profitable business model.
One of the reasons we have acquired a couple other publishing houses is that actually backlist sells more than frontlist. So in 2019, at the beginning of the year, we had 30 books, and now we have 1,200. And the reason that Deep Vellum is set up as a nonprofit is particularly because it's not just that translations don't sell. It's that the entire commercial publishing landscape comes out of New York City from 5 companies. And they have completely neglected books in translation, books by authors from places like Dallas. And more importantly, that means that they've neglected readers. And they've said that we don't deserve stories from French writers or writers from Kurdistan. We don't deserve to read Jonathan Norton of Pleasant Grove or Jan Fosse of Norway, 2 authors, and one is from our backyard. One is from the fjords of Norway. He won the Nobel Prize in October, and Jonathan is now the interim director at the Dallas Theater Center. Both playwrights, both amazing.
The New York Times recently ran a feature about Deep Vellum Press and the Oak Cliff bookstore, The Wild Detectives. Frankly, the Times seemed surprised that Dallas had these elements of international and independent literature. You and The Wild Detectives both actually started around 11 years ago. So what has changed?
The New York Times article is a beautiful piece of external validation, And I'm one of the luckiest people in the world that when I moved here, Javier Garcia del Moral and Paco Vique were opening the Wild Detectives with a very similar mindset and vision about how Dallas is a part of the world and how we could bring the world here. And in their bookstore, you're just as likely to spend the night dancing to a DJ from Colombia as you are hearing an author from New York or from Taiwan doing a reading. And what's changed since then is that this identity of Dallas as a literary city is something that I've enjoyed talking about ad nauseum. But it's not just Wild Detectives now around the corner. Whose Books? And around the corner from that, Poets Bookshop. Look at the Pan-African Connection. Look at Interabang Books, which is doing so much work with international culture, starting literary prizes and podcasts. We have the University of Texas at Dallas and its translation studies program. We have great creative writing program at the Southwest Review at SMU. It's all those pieces. You have to connect the dots between them the same way that when you look at the stars in the sky, you have to draw the lines between the stars to actually make a constellation appear. And it's also that the community of Dallasites and North Texans are looking for this kind of experience. They're starving for books.
Will Evans, thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor, Jerome.
That was KERA's Jerome Weeks talking to Will Evans. Y'all, this weekend is absolutely stacked with sports. We have the Mavs, we have the Stars, we have the Rangers, and adding to the mix is FC Dallas. Kind of outing myself here a little bit, but I am an Austin FC fan through and through. And while my partner claims he wouldn't be caught dead at an FC Dallas match, I'm always down for a little MLS, so I might tune in for a bit. If sports aren't your jam, no worries there. You can head on down to Fair Park this weekend for a celebration like no other. Yep, this Saturday is World Turtle Day, and I may or may not have a countdown on my phone for it. Texas turtles will be there to catch, tag, and release their resident turtles. It's all part of their annual conservation and monitoring study. The event is free and absolutely packed with activities all day long, including arts and crafts, face painting, live music, and delicious treats. If you see me wandering around with my face painted like a turtle fairy princess double-fisting carnival food, mind your business, please. And if I haven't been able to draw you away from the Leslie Knope Turtles Are Condescending camp, there's plenty more to do this weekend. The Wildflower Festival runs Friday to Sunday and is absolutely stacked with workshops, cornhole tournaments, and of course music. Check it out in Richardson. Thank you so much for starting your day with me today. I am so glad you take a few minutes to listen each morning. Be sure to subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA newsletter at keranews.org/wakeup and check us out on Instagram and Threads at KERATX. I'm Catherine Hobbs. We'll chat again on Monday.